everyone. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live, Season 7, Episode 44. DJI Air 3S has arrived. Marcus, how are you this evening?
Good. I just need to mute my other channel here. Okay, got it. Sorry about that echo.
No. Well, and I got to say this before we greet everybody. I want to get right away. It seemed like nobody had any problems getting it. I mean, the customs thing.
Don't tell that to Barkley.
Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay. We'll get into that here in a minute. We got a house full tonight here. I mean, literally wall to wall. Akarasho, Indy Kurt, Johnny's here, Waypoint New England, Jay Bird, Art's here. Who else we got? Captain Ray is here. John Olson is here. Let's see who else here. Richard is here. Let's see. Trini is here. Welcome, Trini. Good to see you. All right. And drone shots. Okay. Sorry about Barkley. Wow. So his got held up in customs.
Yeah. Let's see. Who else? Somebody else is waiting for theirs too. What's funny is, Barkley and Jenna ordered exactly at the same time. Mm-hmm. Their model, they came in on the same airplane. Jenna got hers. His is stuck in customs.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, well, and I got to say this, okay? Because I know we're pretty much going to spend the whole evening talking about it. Marcus, that was the longest firmware update I think I have ever seen in my life.
That was a pretty healthy update, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's like right off the bat. I mean, it's like I'm firing things up, and I'm like, holy crap! This thing is like, and then I did a YouTube short on it, and it took me a full minute talking at 100% speed to get everything out. I mean, because I had to shoot it like 3 times because I couldn't get it out. It was just so much.
I think it's pretty common that they don't add all the new features in. They do it all on that first update, and so we've seen that in the past.
Yeah, and that's the first thing I wanted to go over this with everybody, because I know I had a bazillion questions directed to me about this, and added free panorama, added support for 10-bit video transmission, added photo capture at 50 megapixel resolution for wide angle camera and 48 megapixel resolution for medium telecamera, redesigned the focus track to optimize the user experience and improve flight stability while using in complex environments. Optimize the effective time of the allow quick transfer and sleep feature, extending it from within 6 hours after power off to within 12 hours. Optimize photo and video quality, increase the photo capture speed at 12 megapixel resolution, increase the maximum obstacle avoidance and maximum following speed to 15 meters per second, improve the obstacle avoidance performance, return to home safety of urban night scenes, and fix some known issues. Wow. Okay. Wow.
By the way, that return to home stuff is flipping cool. Of course, I was just out at the canyon when I flew mine, and I just now got back and just now got a chance to look at the results. But I know Johnny flew his right into his garage. I haven't looked at Jerry Bauer's video yet, but he said he flew his right back into his garage automatically. There.
I think I might want to try that. Well, you probably saw that video that Ron had posted, obviously overseas, maybe, China, right, of it flying back into that apartment. And, well, the thing with me on that, and I don't know, the one thing that I pointed out right away was you only saw the screen recording. You didn't see the video from the drone itself. So yeah. I'm like, let's see here. But from hearing what you're saying about Johnny, and
I think it'll do it, Bill.
Yeah, I think you're right. I really do. And that's what I'm going to do. I'll try just doing it back into the garage.
My first return to home from my very first flight, I was right on the edge of the canyon, and the dang thing landed like an airplane. It just dove in, and I'm going, wow, am I going to have to get out of the way? It was fast, but it came screeching to a halt right above the landing pad, looked down and said, yeah, okay, I'm good. Plop.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, we got a lot to talk about tonight, and it just because I've gotten my inbox is just like bulging at the seams. People throwing a bazillion questions. And that's always a good thing. But we're gonna I want to sort some things out. There are a couple things I do want to bring up first here. Okay. Now the first thing is, and I know I do want to ask Ron about it when he joins us. Is the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 camera pairs 8K clarity with AI ease. Um, you know, Marcus, this has GoPro and DJI action camera written all over it right here.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you, Bill. You're talking to the wrong guy. This is where we really need Ron. I don't follow Insta360 that well. I've got to go to, but I mean, I just don't. I really don't have a lot I can add because I just don't know enough about it.
Yeah, and that's why I want to, we'll talk about that more when Ron joins us. But it's interesting, and conversely here, I found an interesting article on Drone XL today that Hay put out there, and let's see if I got that. Yeah, it's several things here. DJI's latest gear hits FCC, Osmo 360, RS4 Mini, and Mic Mini Unveiled here. Okay, DJI Osmo 360, a new perspective. DJI Osmo 360 appears to be the latest addition to DJI's popular Osmo line of handheld cameras. While details are scarce, the 360 name suggests it might offer 360 degree video capture capabilities, potentially competing with products like the Insta360 lineup. DJI RS4 Mini compact stabilization camera gimbal is a mini version. It's likely designed for smaller cameras and more portable setups, making it ideal for travel and run and gun shooting scenarios. And then DJI Mic Mini improved audio solutions.
That one's got my attention.
Yeah, that me too. Me too. So this is interesting. This coming out here now. What really, kind of is really interesting is nothing from Igor or Jasper on that.
Yeah, that is interesting.
I didn't see anything from them, but hold on to your hats because I think we'll see it in short order. But I thought this was real interesting seeing this come popping up like right away.
Hey, Bill, I want to know if I'm safe. DJI is asking me to fill out a questionnaire. Is that, am I going to give up any United States military secrets?
Oh, I don't know. People may find out how far you're away from the Snake River Canyon. That could be detrimental to national security.
I'm just saying.
Okay. All right. Well, that was an interesting article there, nonetheless. I was surprised to see that. Now, today, one of the other things is, and before we really start diving into the Air 3, is DJI sues U.S. Department of Defense, claims financial harm from wrongful blacklisting. Okay. On October 18th, DJI filed a lawsuit to challenge the Department of Defense erroneous designation of the company as a Chinese military company. After attempting to engage with the DoD for more than 16 months, DJI determined it had no alternative other than to seek relief in federal court. DJI is not owned or controlled by the Chinese military, and the DoD itself acknowledged, that DJI makes consumer and commercial drones, not military drones. All right. DJI further assists before the lawsuit. The drone maker sought to engage with the DoD for more than 16 months through outside counsel. It's not until DJI informed the DoD of its intention in the lawsuit does the DoD finally provided DJI with a report purporting to justify DJI's designation. Okay. I also read today too, and I'm not seeing it here in an article. I don't know if you remember Loretta Lynch. She was Attorney General under President Obama. She is actually representing DJI in this lawsuit. It's a Washington law firm. Wow. This is just, I'm glad they're hitting back here, and I'm glad they're rebuffing this because DJI is probably a lot of things, but they're not owned by the Chinese military. Okay, that's just more fabrication. I'm just very, very, very sure, very, very sure of that. I mean, it's just, what can I say?
Yep.
So that's that for that. I mean, we'll see how that plays out. I think it's good that they kind of pushed back a little bit at them. And of course, there was a statement I saw, and it wasn't posted on Drone DJ or Drone XL, by our ever-friendly, not-so-friendly Congressman Elise Stefanik about the need for this drone ban is even more imminent because of this and all the stuff about the Uyghurs and all that. So, yeah. I'm just kind of like go over that over there. There's an interesting article out, and it was out on the 18th on Drone DJ, and it's kind of like an FYI, and I think a lot of us, excuse me, a lot of us know about a lot of this, but DJI explains how to avoid costly drone flyaway incidents. And a flyaway is one of the most dreaded scenarios, turning a day capturing stunning aerial footage into a frantic search for their lost drone. Okay, fully charged batteries in advance. Scout the environment for safe conditions. That's prior to flight, go to the DJI Fly app before you fly to assess geozones for potential flight restrictions. Once you've confirmed no flight restrictions, check the weather forecasting condition, the buildings in the area before flying. Choose open spaces away from densely populated areas and buildings for a smooth flight in good weather here. Thoroughly check your drone. Before powering on a drone, don't forget to give your drone a comprehensive check. The drone surface is free of damages, cracks, or loose parts. The gimbal protector or clamp is removed. The lens and obstacle avoidance systems are clean and dust-free. The propellers are securely installed and properly unfolded. Confirm settings right before flight. Confirm obstacle avoidance action. Ensure that obstacle avoidance is enabled and obstacle avoidance action is set to either bypass or brake. For beginners, it's recommended to select brake. Confirm sensor status. Verify the compass and IMU sensors are normal. Confirm stick mode. Ensure that the stick mode is set to your preferred and commonly used mode. Set up return to home mode for a safe return home. Tap the icon in the upper right-hand corner, safety, auto return helm altitude. Set the return helm altitude to be higher than the surrounding obstacles. Set aircraft signal lost action. Safety, advanced settings, signal lost. Strongly recommended to select return to home as the action to be executed when disconnected. Confirm home point updated. Wait until GPS turns white before you hear the voice prompt home point updated before taking off with your drone. Avoid reckless flights in dangerous situations. Low battery warning. Frequent strong wind warnings. Signal icon turning red. Weak video transmission signal. Weak GPS signal. Okay. This is just some great handy tips there. There he is. There's Mr. DJI Neo himself right there.
Yeah,
Mr. Neo.
Well, now Mr. Air 3S.
Okay. Interesting, Ron, that you had that strap on there because I had the same one. Mine doesn't fit.
Oh yeah, the two holes in the bottom are exactly the same. But the thing for me was my Air 3S is too wide for those, and I noticed that Start RC, who sells that, they have another one out there, and where it goes up here and around this area up here around the front of the props, not the back of the props. Oh wow, huh? Yeah, because I tried to get mine on, and it was almost like forcing it, and I said, "Nah, we're going to stop here, okay? I don't want to throw a wrench into the works there." So, well, that's interesting. And I on an update on stuff fitting, Johnny Joneflower, congrats, Johnny Joneflower. He got his Air 3S state. He already confirms it fits in the Starter RC hard case, even with the bigger gimbal and camera bump.
I'm glad you brought that up, Ron. I have even bigger Johnny Drone Flyer news. This is huge. And by the way, I asked Johnny's permission to be able to pass this along to everybody. He flew his Air 3S at over 54 miles an hour today.
Whoa. Whoa.
I couldn't get mine out of the 40s. That's Johnny. He's got that left foot.
Well, let me tell you. He gave me the answer to that too, Ron. I had the same thing as out over the canyon. That 47 miles an hour was as fast as I could get it to go, 21 meters per second. You got to go into the gain and expo settings, and you got to crank that speed up. I wouldn't have known that if Johnny hadn't have given me told me to that. And Lon literally chewed Johnny out. He said, "Don't you guys ever read the manual?" No, Lon, we don't.
No. So in the gate, one more time, I don't even hear the manual. In the gain and expo settings, he did what?
Turned up the speed, baby.
Okay.
Cranked up the top speed.
Gotcha. And, I think Billy did show that in his video. Hey, listen, Bill, it happened to me last night. I had some kind of sound issue where I couldn't hear Marcus and Lauren's show, and I switched to different speakers. Now, you guys are so loud, it's hurting my ears, and I put up with it for an hour and a half last night. It's not you guys, but somehow the volumes, I haven't turned down number 1, and 0 is off. I have no sound in the 1. You guys, like, I can hear you down the street, so I want to go in and refigure. I can't do the rest of the show with I sound like I'm at a rock concert. Let me see if I can figure out what's going on with my sound, and I'll pop right back in again. It happened last night in the middle of the show, and I couldn't fix it, and I forgot about it. And let me just pop out, and I'll pop back in as soon as I figure out what's going on.
That's fine.
And before I leave, how about Go Steeler Nation, Bill?
Oh. I got some thoughts about that. We'll talk at the end of the show about that. But yeah, I got some good thoughts on that score here. So, what I just went over are I'm glad they put this article out, Marcus, because it's so good for people. You're all ready. You go out there, and something happens, and 9 times out of 10, if you follow what they say in this article, I would bookmark this article and keep it handy as a handy reference, especially for new flyers, and every now and then for experienced flyers to read through this article and make sure that you follow the advice that they give here, because a lot of times, a lot of these accidents can be avoided. Like, for example, ignoring a low battery warning. All right. That's going to come back to bite you in the rear end. Ignoring a high speed warning. Again, you keep pushing through something like that. It's going to chew up battery, and you're not going to be able to get your drone back home. Flying when, let's say it may be foggy or something. All right. Bad vibes. Just, go with a lot of your common sense, but also go, set your return home height properly for the area that you're in. Okay. It may change for you from, say, flying at the park that you fly into flying out the canyon to flying at the dam.
I think this Air 3S, you could put it at 0. Wouldn't matter. The drone's going to find its way.
I think we got Ron back. I finally got my volume things fixed.
Good.
Thanks for that. Sorry for popping.
Good deal. No, I was talking about an article that was on Drone DJ about some tips how to avoid losing your drone, and it was really just a lot of common sense things. Checking the weather that you fly in. Don't ignore high wind warnings. Don't ignore low battery warnings. Set your return home height properly for the environment that you're in. Making sure your calibrations are all okay. Just some basic stuff, and it's really good. And I was telling Marcus, it's really good for all of us to do this every now and then, to just kind of refresh ourselves with some things, because when you ignore stuff, when you ignore warnings, that's when things are going to happen. If you take off before there's a proper number of satellites, that's going to be bad news. It's just you want to. Your drone is so smart and so intelligent. Let it do its thing. All right, give it a minute.
Bill, one of the things I do, and you see it in most of my videos, is I have a safety checklist that I go through every time. If you look at my videos, first thing I start off with is that safety tab, just looking things over to make sure, just what you said, let's see what the drone needs and take care of it.
Absolutely.
And of course, even if you don't go to the safety tab, the drone in the upper left-hand corner gives you a lot of warnings.
Right.
Even if you forget to go to that tab, the drone gives you a lot
Right.
of warning. Like the drone will warn you the compass error. I get the you see the compass error, IMU error, things like that. So even if you again, what Marcus does is the best, but even if you don't do that, you still get warnings from the drone itself. So Marcus, you made this statement, I guess a couple of years ago, with these modern drones. Well, I'll take it right to the Air 3S with all the safety features. You really got to try hard to lose that drone.
You got to work at it. You got to work pretty hard.
You got to work at it. It's
I mean, the way it returns home and Bill, you talk about raising your proper height. That's always a good thing. But even if you forget to return to the proper height, as long as the drone has enough light, and now with that LiDAR sensor, it'll make its way around a tall building.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Bill, would you like to see a pano taken with the Air 3S?
Yes.
That new pano, Marcus, what do they call that new pano?
Well, I tried that, and it works really good. I can't remember what they call it, the free panel. So you set the start, you set the finish, and it automatically, and it works quite well.
Wow.
But this one was a, oh God, I forget all the names of their panos, but let me see if I can request.
Gary Bauer saying, I think the panel is great.
Share screen. Let me see if I can find the right tab here, Bill. Yeah, I'm going to do entire screen is what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I'm going to do the whole thing.
Yep, I'm going to click share, and then I'm going to switch over to that picture. Maybe. There we go.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's with that 1-inch sensor. And as you can see, it's kind of a semi-cloudy day. So the lighting conditions probably weren't the best. But
you still had enough blue sky there. It probably softened the light a little bit for you. Is that 50 megapixel feature we hear about, or is that just the 12?
You know what, Ron? You've got me at a disadvantage.
If you didn't go into settings and turn 50 on, then it's a 12.
I did not. I didn't know anything about the 50 megapixel setting. So this has got to be just the 12.
You know what they would say, Marcus? Read that manual, huh?
Well, Lon would rip me for that. But here's another one. So So one of them is this is the 180, I guess, is what this is. Yeah. And the next one is this is the wide angle. And
that's the one I kind of prefer that. And then that's
there's vertical right
shot.
Yeah. And
and
here's a video sample if you want to see this.
Yeah, go ahead.
And this is facing the sun. So
okay.
And again, you can see it's kind of a cloudy day. It wasn't the best day to be out there.
I've seen a lot worse. It's not terrible.
Yeah. Now, if you look kind of in the center of the picture, you will see the Swan Falls Dam come into view.
Okay.
Look out there off into the distance.
Okay. I see it.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, to me, this looks like the dynamic range is pretty good on this. The shadows aren't crushed, and the highlights are good too.
Well, in the color science, it's just what it looks like to me. It's very, very natural.
Yeah.
So then I did some panoramas facing the dam as well, and so that is the 180, and there's a wide angle, and like Ron said, that's one of my favorites too. Is that wide angle? 9 shots.
It's a really good shot, Marcus.
Yeah,
I like that.
As opposed to the 180, it's 21 pictures that it takes and stitches them together, and then there's the
vertical.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's less photo stitched. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's really good. One of the things I want to do before we get going here is I know Marcus told me that Barclays is held up in customs, but I wanted to go ahead and talk about there's an article here that was on Drone DJ about that. Lawmakers condemn DJI's U.S. Customs blocks Air 3S drone imports. Okay, and of course the Pontiac and Molinaire are talking about the CCP and the waivers and all that kind of good stuff. But DJI's response: customs misunderstanding, not a ban. DJI's countered the accusations, describing the customs-related issues as misunderstanding and rejecting the claims of forced labor as entirely unfounded. A spokesman from DJI clarified, this is a customs matter, and the evidence clearly demonstrates DJI's compliance with existing laws. It's important to note that this is not a ban and does not appear to be linked to the proposed legislation against DJI in the U.S. Congress. DJI's statement emphasizes the company does not operate or source materials from Xinjiang, the region at the heart of the UFLPA concerns. According to the company, all its manufacturing is based in Shenzhen and Malaysia, outside the scope of the UFLPA's presumptions. The company also highlights its compliance with international labor standards and U.S. regulations, including Section 307 of the Tariff Act of 1930 and relevant occupational safety certifications. Okay. And talks more about implications and everything here. But, Marcus did tell me that Barclays was held up, but, and I think Ken's was still held up. I mean, he had ordered.
He came on the show last night and said his stall was stuck in customs.
So, who knows who knows why that's happening. Okay.
Yeah. And the bigger point is a lot more are getting through than getting stuck. I mean, when I'm going to say like, not 90-some% are getting through. So I think what we thought was going to be the big story this week, the Air 3S does not make it to consumers, turned out to be not such a big story.
Yeah. And mine was temporarily held twice down in Miami. But then it got released.
That's where Ken's was.
Yeah. Mine got released very quickly. There wasn't any issues there. So
yeah, mine had some. When it was in New York City, it had, I don't know if it had that thing that somebody else is drawing had X something, but I mean that status disappeared quickly, and it was on its way.
Yeah, that was it for me too. It was like there for like about a couple hours, and then I went out there and checked again, and then I saw it was cleared, so I knew it was going to be okay.
Now, do you think any of this had to do with? Well, you probably had this in the story, so I don't want to talk about it too much. The DJI lawsuit. Do you think this kind?
Yeah, we had just talked about that, but I don't think these are tied. I really don't. I think that's completely separate. And I found out today, as I told Marcus, former Attorney General Loretta Lynch, part of the Obama administration, she is the lead counsel for DJI in suing the government. Which it's ironic, okay? Here was a former Attorney General of the United States representing a company that's suing basically the Attorney General of the United States and the government.
Wow.
So, go figure that.
Hey, just to follow up with Ron, you do have to update the batteries. I got an inconsistent firmware on one of the new batteries, Ron, so it's updating it right now.
That's funny. I think I've flown all 3 batteries after today, and I never got that warning. Isn't that weird?
Well, I noticed it on so the first flight I flew was the battery I had when I did the big update.
Right.
Then the second flight, I stuck that in there, and I noticed it was asking for an update, but I was out there at the canyon, so I didn't do it.
Could it not ask me because maybe I didn't have my phone hot sync to the controller?
Yeah, I don't know, Ron. It probably would. I don't know. It'd probably still recognize the inconsistency, I would think.
Well, I'm going to try after the show. I'm going to try it in the office where I have full Wi-Fi to the controller.
Yeah. So I'm updating this other battery right now.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm going to go ahead.
All 3 batteries.
We're sending Bill way off the rails. Sorry, Bill.
Bill, go ahead.
No. This is what it's all about, the Air 3S, and that's why we're here tonight. And then this article on Drone DJ, new DJI Air 3S dual camera drone is perfect for travel shots, and it talks about some of this here, enhanced 10-bit color and ISO capabilities, and some great pictures here, especially at night. Nightscape optical sensing and smart return to home. Flying at night can be challenging, and you should always check the latest FAA requirements for nighttime flying. The Air 3S is equipped with new Nightscape optical sensing technology to make it safer. The drone features forward-facing LiDAR, infrared sensors, and multiple vision sensors to provide 360-degree awareness, helping it detect and avoid obstacles even in low-light environments. This ensures smoother, safer flights when capturing nighttime scenarios. Additionally, the Air 3S includes a next-gen smart return-to-home feature. The system uses real-time vision positioning and mapping to remember its takeoff location, making it possible for the drone to return safely even when GPS signals are weak. This feature is especially helpful when taking off from remote or GPS-limited locations. Longer flights and built-in storage with up to 45 minutes of flight time, the Air 3S provides ample time to scout, plan, and capture the perfect shot, making it ideal for travel photography. Its built-in 42 gigabyte storage means you can capture footage directly onto the drone, reducing the need for external memory cards. The feature, combined with off-state QuickTransfer, allows files to be transferred to smartphone or compliant or computers, even when the drone is powered off, or making it easier to manage on the go. Okay.
I just did that, Bill, and it works great.
You did the file transfer today?
I hooked up with the drone off, and it worked.
Bill, you don't even need a battery in the drone.
Wow. That's just, see, you know what? And Marcus always says this, and I love this. This is one of my favorite things that Marcus says. DJI will put something in this drone that we didn't even think of that we're gonna you were gonna want. You know, yeah. Marcus has always said that. It's one of my favorite things that Marcus has ever said about DJI and drones.
Well,
and stuff.
And Bill, I agree, but it's not brand new. The Action 5 Pro has it. The Neo has it. So it's
okay.
Okay. In fact, I'm not positive. Did the Avata 2 have it?
I do not believe so. The Neo, I thought, was the
Neo and the Action 5 Pro both have it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's amazing, because you know how it is. You know, you got to take the SD card out, put it in a reader, put it in your computer, and here it's all on board. Now, I have a question for the quick file transfer, okay? And it's not stated here. That's from the internal storage that DJI has, correct?
Correct.
But it could do it for the memory card in the drone too, right?
I don't know. I didn't try that, Ron. I didn't.
Yeah,
I never put a memory card in it, so I don't know. I can't say for certain. And like Lon, I'm sorry, I didn't read the manual, so I don't know that answer.
Yeah, that's one
somebody
thing.
was hoping for 5K. What was that other one? 5K 20 megapixel camera, like the Air 2S had.
Well, MHM, I'm reading these articles to get the basis for things to talk about tonight, and I wanted to make some points to make sure that people know about that. Okay,
and it also happens to be your show, Bill. So you know, there's that.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, this is a good feature, and I'm really happy about that. Ron, did you hear?
Real quick, Bill? Jay Bird's confirming in the chat that yes, that works with the SD card too. So
thank you, Jay Bird.
SD card, it'll quick transfer over too. Thanks, Jay Bird. He got his. He was the first person I saw yesterday on Facebook. He got his like in the morning. He maybe one more.
It looked like Jerry did his too as well. You know, Ron, did you try any of the smart return to home? Because I know Marcus told me that Johnny did, and it flew into his garage.
Oh wow!
Did you try anything like that today?
I did it, and I'm not that dramatic. It just I've landed it 4 times now, and it's hit the pad. I mean, you know, a couple times dead center. I had one where the one leg was almost off, but it wasn't. I had that in video, whatever. So I've landed it twice after the sun has dropped below the horizon, and it has no trouble finding, you know, almost the center of the pad or near center.
So I know Jerry Bauer has a video up, and Jerry, I haven't watched yours yet, but I did see Johnny's. He posted it on Facebook.
Oh,
and his came right in the garage, landed right between his truck and his golf cart.
Wow!
Just
like that video we saw. I posted on the Tundra Nation Facebook group where the guy took off from his like high-rise apartment.
Yeah.
And it's obviously it was true, you know, but I think for me, and I think, you know, my initial reaction was, you know, that was from a screen grab, a screen recording, but not the actual video footage from the drone itself. And I'm like, let's see here. But Johnny confirms that this is true, that it works.
Hey, I want to MHM photography. We're all good. You're good with all of us here.
Yeah, absolutely, MHM. We're good here. You know, were there any surprises for either of you, good or bad, with it because I know you've had some flights under your belt. I haven't gotten there yet. I'm probably going to do that maybe Thursday after work. Any pluses, minuses, anything that really kind of stands out to you guys?
Nothing yet. I know I'm going to sound like such a fanboy, but I was just thinking about that right before the show. There is no other manufacturer that is even close to the capabilities that this drone provides. They don't even exist. It's pretty wild.
And Bill, I'll say it a little bit different than Marcus. I mean, basically the Air 3S is just a refined version of the Air 3. So there really wasn't a whole lot to go wrong. It's just like take the Air 3 and make a lot of stuff a little bit better, So there's almost no downsides and upsides I didn't expect or whatever. I mean, we knew so many leaks or whatever. I kind of haven't found anything I didn't know about yet. I don't think. I mean, it's all good. I mean, the a lot of things maybe you didn't like about. If you didn't like something about the Air 3, they're probably still here too. Like, okay, here, Bob Casey brought this up on the show last night, Bill. He always wanted to be able to change from the 1x camera to the 3x camera without stopping the video. Well, that hasn't changed on the 3S. You still need to stop the video before you go from the 1x to the 3x camera. Here's something I didn't know, Bill. Maybe you guys heard this. They advertise they have 14 step stops of dynamic range. Some people have been saying on the internet on reviews that 14 stops is only in the standard video mode, and I don't know if they're trying to say it has less stops in D-Log-M or what's the other one, HLG or whatever. So I don't have that refined, but to me that's good news that you don't have to go into some special mode to get all those 14 stops of dynamic range. That's right in standard mode.
That's good. That's really good to hear. The one thing, and it's not connected with the drone that I've gotten out of it since it's come, is it's still not on Amazon. It's still, you can still get it through the mothership, which is really interesting because I thought by this point in time that, you would see Amazon have it listed. You would see your Best Buys and Adorama.
Something's going on, Bill. Something's going on.
Yeah, you're right. Something is going on.
Did you hear Lauren on our show last night? Lauren said that we asked about, is there any shipping problems in Canada? And Lauren said, no, it was available in Best Buy on release date.
And
dynamic. If you were Canadian, you could walk into your local store and pick one up last Tuesday. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. I mean, I'm really, just finding out why. I mean, it just, and I gotta believe all this stuff going on with the government has something to do with this. It's just messed up. But I'll tell you what, the one thing I will say that I won't say pleasantly surprised, but very happy about was DJI stuck to its time frame with when they say it was going to be delivered. And kudos to DHL because, they really basically left the United States several years ago as far as shipping within the United States. You can still obviously overseas and get it here in the United States, but shipping, it's not. They try to be competitive with FedEx and UPS, and it didn't work for them. But evidently, international, they do very well. And the one thing that impressed me, and I don't know about you, in your area, I got a phone call from the driver about 10 minutes before she was supposed to stop off. She wanted to know because I had to sign for it. Is somebody home to sign for it? And I was like, wow.
Phone call, wow.
And it happened last time I got something from DHL too. Calls me up, is somebody home to sign for it? I was like, wow, okay, this is good stuff. I really like that. And great people. I mean, really great people. Friendly, on time. And you know what? And you know what's great? Okay. I always put, like, if I do business with a certain company and I do a lot of business with them, I asked their shipping department, I said, please, if you could have it shipped, either FedEx or USPS or anything than UPS. Because what happens with UPS is where I live, the UPS hub is all on the way on the other side of Tampa. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I don't get UPS items till like almost 8 o'clock at night. All right.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, no, we're not doing that. So there's a ham radio company I do business with in Ohio, and I've told them specifically, and I have it marked on. It's marked on my portfolio is to ship either FedEx or USPS, not UPS, because of that.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. But
Bill,
no,
you were looking for cons, and this was in Billy Kyle's one of his early videos on the Air 3S. And it's happened to me on my first flight too, and I haven't seen since. When I took off flying, it gained altitude on its own. Just flying straight ahead down toward the fishing pier at the beach, it started gaining altitude until I kind of forced it down. I didn't. Then after that, it was okay. I didn't see it on the next 3 flights, but that very first flight, and it happened to Billy. He was flying over the river. He said for some reason it's gaining altitude. It did that to me out of the box, but I haven't seen it since.
were you doing anything with the sticks? Were your hands off the sticks?
I had hand on the right hand on the stick pushing forward.
Going forward, okay. Wow.
But it went up on its own, just like what happened to Billy in his kind of first flight video. So yeah, I don't know what happened there. And I have a friend, Brian. I can't pronounce Brian's last name, but he lives in Philadelphia, flies along the river a lot. I think he's got a defective Air 3S. The obstacle avoidance goes crazy. He flies around the shipyard. He can't even get very close to him. Not only does it go up, but it won't let him get in like where he usually gets in for his shots or whatever. And he's even tried to go to sport mode, and that didn't work. And I mean, I had the video. I'll post it on Tundra Nation tomorrow, whatever. It's crazy the way it performed for him. And I know it's not all drones because I flew mine right near the fishing pier, and the sensors didn't stop me from getting as close as I wanted.
We'll see. And one of the things when you have an incident like that, Ron, and that's a good example to let the audience know, one of the things that you need to do if you're doing that, pull the drone back, do an IMU calibration and do a compass calibration, and do a calibration of your controller as well too. Do all of those, get them all in sync. Especially the most important one, I think, is the IMU, because that really, that is really critical to safe operation of the drone. Now, I know Lauren told me, at least 2 or 3 years ago, before the first flight for every drone, you should do an IMU calibration. Guilty as charged, Lauren, I don't, but I should. And that's one thing, I'm going to do that. Well, before I go out and do my first flight, I'm going to do an IMU calibration because I think it's important. I think it's an important thing to do to make sure that that's okay. But that's really interesting what you're telling me about that, Ron. And if you find the link to that video, drop it and build a drone of your.
Yeah, I'll send it over there too. But I have it. I just haven't got a chance to post it yet. He sent to me an email. It's to YouTube or whatever. So it's probably just a case, no matter not every drone, every product can be perfect. He probably just got defective. I'm sure he could reach out to DJI and he'll get his, they'll send him a replacement.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, or some special firmware fix. Who knows? But anyhow, it's one issue I've seen so far. So no, I mean, Bill, it's summarize. It's all good on the Air 3S so far. I mean, but it's early days, as Marcus also said.
Well, I noticed that some things are trickling out on Amazon as far as accessories are concerned. I saw the new prop holders that I'm going to go ahead and order. I didn't order them yet. Are out there. There are some cases out there yet. Lycus does not have their case. I emailed my contact at Lycus. He hasn't gotten back to me yet. But some of the big names saying they're probably usually it's about 30 days out. That's what my contact usually tells me from when a drone is released until they can go ahead and get a case out. And really for them, it's really just redesigning the foam because the exterior physical case is the same. It's just redesigning the interior foam for that and getting that process down. So I expect.
Bill, did you have a Lycus case for the Air 3?
What's that?
Did you have a Lycus case for your Air 3?
Yes, I do have that, and I haven't tried.
Did you try the S in it?
I haven't tried it yet, but
you may not need a new case.
My thinking is probably no, because I think that gimbal is definitely bigger, and I think it may sit a little different in the case. I haven't tried it yet, but I will try that probably the night before I go to bed. But I think if anything, it's probably going to sit a little wonky in there. So I'm going to wait until they get. Besides, Lycus really likes me because when you go to their splash page, they have one of my videos is up there.
Good.
So they send me free cases all the time. I got a free case for the Mini 4 Pro. I got a free case for the Air 3. I got a free case for the Mavic 3, regular Mavic 3. I got a free case for the Mavic 3 Pro. I mean, they just every time, boom. Valerie's like, how do you get this? How do you do this? I'm just like, evidently, when you put out a nice video and you're favorable, they like it. So what can I say?
Right.
So,
Jay Bird's saying that he agrees. He thinks that you'll be fine with your current Lycus case.
Yeah, we're going to give it a shot. We'll take a look here and see. So, but all in all, I mean, this has been. I think it's gone rather smoothly. All right, just the customs thing is kind of spotty, but all in all, it's been a rather smooth release for DJI.
Yeah,
they got a firmware update out that really addresses a lot of things and adds a lot of features to this. And just when you thought how much more perfect could a drone get than the Air 3, you get the Air 3S. Okay.
And Marcus, I don't know. You said you didn't have the best light today, but this is just based just on what I saw on the screen on my control, which I guess is 1080p thing. The picture quality looked better to me on my controller, especially tonight, than what I was seeing on the Air 3. I think I could see a difference.
Yeah, I saw that when I fired because what I do is after I film my unboxing. After I did that, I set it up on my desk here to take my shots that I can use for thumbnails, and I turn it on, and I was very impressed with how sharp and crystal clear it was. I mean, granted it's indoors, but still my room's pretty bright. Yeah. I was pretty impressed with that.
Hey, I got in the chat here. I want to answer Bob Casey. Well, he's asking you, Bill, whether you've flown your Air 3S yet.
No, I have not. I'm going to try to get out on Thursday. Unfortunately,
Bill's got to work for a living.
I gotta work for a living here, 8 to 4:30 every day. But I'm going to try Thursday night. I have my ham radio show is tomorrow night, so I can't do that. But right. Thursday after work, I'm going to try to get out there and get my first flight in. Oh, and
we need to send some get well. Love out there for Ray Kelly. Apparently, Ray's been sick. He missed the show last week.
Oh man, sorry to hear that, Captain Ray.
Yeah, I hope you're feeling better, Captain Ray. Well, it looks like they're getting ready to head down south because I saw today, Ray. Maybe you can answer in the chat. You had your koi ponds all wrapped up for the winter.
Yeah, he's got tickets sometime early in November.
Okay,
he's getting close. Bill, how has the cleanup been going in a lot of the areas in Florida?
It's actually going pretty good. Our tree we finally got an estimator come over from our local landscaping company. They're going to safely remove the tree out in the backyard. Just tilt it over. It's an oak tree, and it's less than 5 feet away from the back of our house. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Why on God's green earth would you plant an oak tree
that close? Yeah.
Seriously. Because our other house that we lived in, where my stepdaughter lives now, there's an oak tree buckled the sidewalk over there. I'm like, why, who would do that? And they said what's really cool is they will actually fill that hole in where the tree is. And it's a company that does the landscaping and maintenance. They do our mowing and weeding and edging here on a weekly basis. But they said they'll fill it in so it won't be this big hole that'll be out in the middle of your backyard. And a machine will do it, so it'll do it safely, so it won't pull on other things. And and it's only $100. I'm like, wow, I think that's a bargain. Let's go ahead and get that done.
$100? That is a bargain. Holy cow!
Wow.
Yeah, and they have a special machine that does it too. And I've seen it before in action, and they do a fantastic job. What's been a little slow though, yard debris has been taken care of, but they've skipped some garbage cycles. So, garbage is piling, we have to have our cans in our garage. You can't have them outside at night. or during the day, unless there's a collection day. They skipped the collection day on Saturday because they got behind. So everybody's like, tomorrow's our next collection day. So gotta make sure that gets out there. So,
yeah.
But
hey, James B in the chat, he's saying Fort Myers, Florida, had mainly storm surge.
Yeah, they did. They did. And I'm real excited because I took a look on the weather forecast for us, which is a good thing. The mix isn't there for any more storm development for the rest of the year. I'd follow a local meteorologist who's been doing this thing for 30 years. He said it's not there. We're good through the rest of the year. So there was one that developed in the Caribbean, but it went straight north. Okay. So we're done with that. And what's nicer is we had a couple days with some cooler temperatures. So temperatures starting to back off. One of the other things that still isn't back to normal yet, like inventory in stores and going out to eat and things, it's kind of hit or miss sometimes. What's available, what's not available. They're getting caught up on things, but some things are still, shelves are empty.
And that's bad because probably in a few weeks, a month, you're going to be hit hard with the snowbirds coming down, right?
They're going to, exactly. November 1st is rolling around, and it seems to be like clockwork. It's like the first week in November, the snowbirds come down to Florida, and if things just and you got to stock up, and you got to know, it's like
snowbirds are going right to the grocery stores. They're going out to your restaurants.
Yeah, it's like you got to be prepared for that. So, one of the other things I wanted to touch base before we wrap things up tonight is, I don't know, Ron, if you saw, but Hi Kesterlu put out an article today that there's going to be a DJI Mic Mini, that there's going to be an Osmo 360, and then a Mini RS4 gimbal coming out. I was like, wow. And what really surprised me is like I told Marcus, I didn't see this out. Jasper didn't talk about it.
The Mic Mini thing, what popped up about a month ago, the 360 camera just popped up in the last week. Igor had some, pictures that even he wasn't sure were the real thing. So some of these rumors have been that's fairly new, the 360. But remember, Marcus, we talked about the Mic Mini a month ago. Say, well, how much more do I need the mic?
Yeah. Hey, Ron, I don't mean to change the subject here, Bill, but Bill put up an article earlier about that new Insta360 action camera, and I'm clueless on it. What can you tell us about it?
Well, it's just an incremental upgrade, looks like, from last year's Ace 2 Pro, and they hang their hat on being very good in low light. And of course, they have 8K also, where DJI is capped at 4K and GoPro at 5K. But some of and it has that flip up screen, so you don't have you have that front facing screen with the data, but not a picture. But the screen pops up in the back, almost like a digital camera would. But some of his weaknesses are it doesn't have the 10-bit color, I don't believe. It doesn't have like log videos, so it's some pros and some cons to it. But a lot of people, they really love the camera. No overheating issues or anything like that with it freezing. So,
Ron, is that comparable to say like a GoPro or an action DJI?
Yeah, it's right. It's right. The three of those are They're if you're looking for an action camera, they're the three now. And the Insta360 comes in a little pricier. I believe it's maybe $399, but if you want any type of extras with it, then it bumps up to over $400. It's a little bit pricier than the competition.
Okay. But, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it got a lot. All the big channels like Air Photography, they had their first looks and early review videos on, so it's easy to find information out there online. That said the usual suspects to get these type of cameras got this for review.
Yeah, and
we talked about this before a little bit, guys. In the action camera field, there's plenty of competition. I mean, you got the old Stewart GoPro, DJI, now you got Insta360s. If you're looking for an action camera, I mean, stay there. You got competition. All three of them have their strengths and weaknesses. All three of them could vie to be the best. But in the drones, we don't have any such competition.
Exactly. exactly. There's no, I mean, it's a one trick pony as far as that's concerned.
Except
I mean,
for the American companies that are going to come in once the DJI ban happens. Those nameless, DJI companies are going to replace DJI once the ban takes effect.
How many years would it take them to catch up in technology to what DJI just put in this little power-packed, check-packed drone? I mean, wow, it just seems insurmountable, right?
A lot of reverse engineering, huh?
Well, at least, yeah.
Yeah, I don't, and you know what? This whole thing about the drone ban and everything, they stir the pot up about this, and then, I see videos out from Russ about, oh, they did the audit and there's not going to be anything. And, it's like up and down and back and forth and all this kind of stuff. And you know what? I personally think we're not going to see it happen right now because everybody's so focused on the election. They're not going to pay it. I mean, this is really kind of inconsequential right now.
Well, right now, Bill, since a lawsuit has been filed officially now, once the government appears in court or whatever, they can't do that thing where you got to take their word for it. They have to prove their statements in court. The judges are going to go for, we can't say it or whatever. They're going to have to show the proof now in court if they want this stuff to stick. So, and if DJI is guilty of all the stuff they say they are, why would they want to be in court? Because they're going to get caught too. Because you're going to need, in a court case, you need real evidence. You can't just go on rumor.
Exactly. And, it could bode very well in their favor if they win this case, and to pressure, Congress and say, look, okay, we're an independent company. We are who we say we are. Audits have shown that, okay, your legislation is moot. All right. And I think they'll probably get a lot of members of Congress to say, no, we're not going to go through.
And of course, a case like this could take, it could go on for, how long. We could still be talking about this case next year at this point.
Oh yeah. Next year.
I think as long as the case is in court, nothing's gonna be, even if it passes in Congress, it'll probably be put on a stay until the court case is finished.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be presented for signature until this court case is settled, because if they would enact this ban and then the court case goes in favor of DJI, then the government is just going to be in a bad position,
and especially really if Loretta Lynch is on DJI's side or whatever. She knows every trick in the book, Bill.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you have an attorney. She was born yesterday.
You have a former attorney general representing DJI. I mean, that's going up against her former employer, the federal government. Go figure. All right.
Wouldn't you like to see Stefanik have to get in the stand and testify, Bill?
I would love that. I would absolutely.
Would you like to see somebody grill her on drones?
They would probably. Who else I would like to see is Ken's favorite person, Mr. Adam Bry. That would be great too.
Yeah, have Loretta Lynch grill him on the stand.
That would be great. Go ahead, Marcus.
One more quick comment with regard to DJI. It's like Ron and I had this discussion earlier today. It's the DJI ecosystem too. Not only you have the drones, but you use their action cameras, you use the microphone. It all works together. The color science works. And it's kind of like they took a page out of Apple's playbook, and they're putting all this stuff together with gimbals and even power stations, and it's become an ecosystem. And once you get hooked into it, you're there.
Very well put, Marcus.
It gets, once you get into it, it's hard to stay. Say if you start with DJI like action cameras, it'd be really hard to ever leave for anything else if you're in with the drones and everything else.
Ron and I were lamenting earlier today that it's too bad that GoPro didn't spread their wings. They had that problem with the Karma drone. Had they just refined that and kept working at it, maybe we would have a viable competitor today, but we just don't.
And maybe GoPro would be in a little bit better shape.
Right.
An American company.
Right.
Yeah. So who knows? So, we're at where we're at. Guys, let's any closing thoughts here before we wrap things up?
Well, I can tell you, I know our friend Lauren up there in Calgary, they had their first snow recently, and winter is upon us. So get your flying in, man. I'm telling you, this fall, the colors are just spectacular out there. Get out there and fly your drone, whether you got this Air 3S or whatever you have, and get some of that stuff going.
Yeah, Marcus, winter may be in your doorstep, but I was at the beach today in shorts and a t-shirt. It's still kind of like, Indian summer down here at the Jersey Shore. We're blessed by the warm water keeping us in good shape. But my final thought of the day as well. Anybody who's getting their Air 3S in this week, who ordered last week, I don't think you'll be disappointed. When it arrives or whatever. I can't find any fault with it so far, but I will keep flying and investigating it further, whatever. And I got a question for Bill. Should I buy my Steelers Super Bowl tickets? At this point, after whatever I saw Sunday,
I'd wait another week. Okay. Oh, did you hear? You want to hear what the big joke is? Okay. Well, you know who the Jets just recently acquired, don't you?
Devontae Adams, Rodgers' buddy.
Well, did you know? Listen to this. This is the first time in the history of the NFL that a wide receiver was traded from one team to another, and he lost both of those games to the Steelers.
Oh wow!
Yeah, because he was with the Raiders, and the Steelers beat the Raiders, and then the Steelers won the other night on Sunday Night Football.
That is something.
So go figure that.
And Bill, is it true a rookie free agent defensive back picked Aaron Rodgers off twice?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Is it true a rookie defensive back for the Pittsburgh Steelers picked Aaron Rodgers off twice Monday night?
It is. He was amazing. He was absolutely amazing. My final thoughts are, like Marcus said, and Imran said, get out there, especially if you got the Air 3S, get out there and enjoy the daylights out of it. I'm planning Friday or Thursday after work to get out there for at least a first flight. Saturday, I'm going to go and try to do a lot of stuff with that. I probably am going to play Ron Brown and go through 3 batteries on Saturday.
There you go.
And I told Valerie, I said, I'm going to head out at 8 in the morning. You'll probably see me around noon. So I'm just going to go out and have some fun.
And you know what else is good this time of year, Bill? You can get a sunset before you eat dinner. It's going down so fast.
That's true. That's absolutely
I
true.
like that. I like early sunsets or whatever. Get it before
that
you eat
is
dinner.
absolutely perfect for this. And that's what I'm intending on doing, because I'll be able to get out about 4:30, 5 o'clock.
And wait until you see the dynamic range on this. You're going to get better sunset shots than you ever did before.
I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm just,
I mean, I know people are going to kill me in the chats here, but and this is limited testing here. I think the dynamic range may be better than on the Mavic 3.
You know what, Ron? I agree with you. I was looking at the footage on that thing that I got to, and I thought, wow, I can't find a problem with it. There's no moire effect. There's no any of those things that we look for in our drone footage. I just didn't see it, and it was so smooth. Like iPhone said, it's like butter.
Butter. And I don't mean to slight the Mavic 3 at all or whatever. It's
still
a great drone, great camera, but I think this may have a little bit better dynamic range.
Looks really good.
You heard it here, folks.
I'm going to get stake to the burned at the cross like a witch for saying that. But
Lon's going to give you a hard time next Monday.
I know. I'm going to have to avoid Lon. Wait a minute, isn't he on the show next week? I won't be able to avoid him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Next Monday,
you're gonna really have to butter him up backstage before you're gonna have to break out the filet mignon.
Sarah's going to have to make a plate of cookies for him.
That's right. You're really going to need to soften Lon up before he's on there.
Hey, look, Jay Bird's backing me up there on that dynamic range statement too. So we got 3 people throwing that out there.
There we go. All right. Well, guys, thank you all so much. Enjoy your Air 3S. Keep letting us know how it's going. This is a great drone. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. I'm going to get out Thursday. Spend a lot of time with it on Saturday. Have fun. I mean, that's why we do what we do. That's why Ron and Marcus and I do what we do, because we love this so much. We have so much fun, and all you guys do is too as well. Great chat tonight, as always, guys. It's a great day to fly. Take care. Have a great rest of your evening.
Good night.